Hey, this is Matt, and we are on video 3 of our 5-part series outlining the Body Temper University Pro System. Now, when we were deciding on the different levels, different options we wanted to provide people with, we wanted to peel out the manual, which is the epicenter or the heartbeat of the Pro System. We wanted to pull that out and just make that available on its own, along with a 1-hour consultation video or Zoom call. Because not everybody is interested in taking this to the full extent right away. Not everybody is interested in the affiliation process that you may be aware of, but some people still want access to the manual. They say, hey, I'm certified or I'm considering becoming certified and I want some literature. And we decided to offer the manual on its own. Now, what is included in the manual? It basically outlines everything that we knew we needed to offer to a person wanting to go from practitioner to professional. There's 3 parts in the manual, and this also sets the tone for the virtual and the in-person workshop. But the 3 parts of the manual are as follows. Number 1 is business considerations on how to start your body tempering business journey. This includes building your arsenal or your team of legal help. Legal help will help you set up your intake forms, your liability waivers, sign contracts when it comes time for leasing, renting space, understanding what kind of liability and risk you have. So when you set up your insurance policies, and really just someone to kind of lean on in the first couple months of operating your business. Insurance. What kind of coverage do you need? Depending on the state you're in, what kind of licenses you may or may not have, how long you've been doing this type of work, that will influence the insurance policy you need. Another thing that we tell people to consider is an accountant, or at least having some type of a financial guidance, especially if you've never owned a business before. If you've never owned a small business, or if you've never been involved in structuring and organizing one, it's very easy for the body tempering business that you start to become formal without meaning to. You post a couple pictures, a couple videos, and all of a sudden people are asking for sessions, and before you know it, you're getting money through Venmo and all this stuff, and cash and check payments, and then when it comes time to do taxes, you realize that you forgot to check a couple pretty important boxes. The first part of the manual also covers things like marketing. How do you effectively explain to people what body tempering is? What are things that are worth your time? Documenting your journey to help spread the word about tempering, because tempering is so new that it's on us right now to share what exactly it is. A lot of people don't know what body tempering is. After you get through some of the business startup considerations, we move more into the skill of delivering body tempering and how to explain it to your clientele. Because you will have people walking in, they've never been tempered, they know very little about tempering, maybe they were referred in by a friend. And if you have 45 minutes to work with this person, you can't afford to burn up 25 minutes talking about tempering and explaining it to them. So there's a learning curve that you can't get around. You have to honor the learning curve, but how do I compress it so I can get tools on somebody as quick as possible while still being safe? Educating them on breathing, educating them on feedback, communication. What is your job when you're being tempered? And all of this goes into the craft of building rapport and explaining your body tempering session to someone. Section 2 also talks about session anatomy. You know, what does the first body tempering session look like compared to the 5th body tempering session? How do you scale it? How do you modify? What can you do on session 2 as far as adding load, adding duration? Can you temper 2 sites at a time? Can you temper 3 sites at a time? And ways to build out the anatomy of your session, just like you would programming a strength and conditioning program. Then we move into section 3, which is all about templates and building out your session flow. Like I said in one of the earlier videos, the body tempering certification, the BTC, is a very clinical approach taught by physical therapists who are in a clinical setting, and body tempering in their world is usually delivered in 5 to 10 minute increments. It's one of the many tools they have accessible in their toolbox. Well, if you're considering opening a standalone body tempering business, it's important to know that a clinical approach, 5-10 minutes at a time, needs to be expanded on so you can fill 30, 45, and 60-minute sessions. You don't want them to be choppy. You don't want awkward scenarios where it's, oh, sorry, can you roll back on your stomach? And, oh, we need to get up, and, oh, I need to go over into this room and grab these tools. And trying to eliminate choppy transitions. So building out your session flow is another important part of this manual. And the manual has over 40 templates that you can look at as a starting point, and the templates are broken up by occupation, by sport, and by movement. So you have someone call, hey, I'm a track and field, I throw, shot put, I come in, I need to get tuned up, make sure I'm ready for an event this weekend, and you can look at that template and have something to either follow step by step, or you can just reference, because those templates identify what muscles are called upon to perform the task or the job. It's a very strength and conditioning biomechanical approach. So we temper muscles that get used in all of these different scenarios. So that is option 1 of 3, the Body Temper University Pro System Manual, coming in at a $500 price point.